Hey everyone, welcome back to Paper Therapy with Amy. I have a craft room tour for you today. I rearranged and reorganized my craft room and I want to show you how it turned out. It was kind of an impromptu thing because I was just going to move one or two things. I even made a little video for you. I'm going to be making some changes up here. I have some decor up here, but I've decided to make this into storage as I'm kind of running out of storage. And I have another shelf, so I'll just move this way here. And this one is kind of slanted down because what's on here is a little heavy for it. And I think it's in a stud on one side, but I'm not sure if it is on the other side. So I might make this into more of a decorated place. We'll see how it works. So much has happened. I feel like I've moved this room around 8 times and ended up the same way it was. No, it's different than it was, but I definitely shifted things around and then ended up putting them back somewhat as well. So I'm really happy with how it's turning out, but here is the middle of the process. I think the furniture is in the right places now, and I will show you in due time, once I get this cleaned up, how I'll give you a tour of how it looks at the end. So let's check out my space rearranged, how I have decided to do it now. So I'm gonna start over on this side. I made a little station over here. The purpose of this station will be to do my die cutting. I've got all my die cutting supplies here. And I've got some things in the drawers here for printing, but also for die cutting in the top drawer. I can show you that. It's not all full yet, but I also have these books here. They're little binders with rings in them, and I put magnets in them, and I put my dies in them, and I sort them in there. Here's a look inside one of my binders. Most of these magnets came from Close to My Heart. We always got magnets with our dies. So this is just how I store them and keep them organized so that when I want an alphabet, I just look in this one. And if I want leaves and florals and tags, they're in this one. So I have all kinds of dies in here. I have Stampin' Up, a few Stampin' Up dies, quite a lot of Close to My Heart dies, and then some other ones that I've collected over the years. And then I just have this small binder, and all these binders came into the thrift store. I did order the right size sleeves. I think these are sleeves for play, if you save play books, like from Broadway books. I think that's what they're for. And then this is just a small binder that was for photos, and I put some in here as well. I keep my die cutting machine on a Lazy Susan, and I got it from, you guessed it, the thrift store. I love having it on there. I find it way more convenient. So we're going to move on here. The next thing that I'm going to show you is my Calax unit, and this unit is 4 cubes by 4 cubes, and these cubes are 13-inch squares. I have the dividers in these middle boxes or cubes here. Those are all dividers. You can get them in Canada. You used to not be able to get them in the States. I don't know if you can now, but I think you can still get them. You just insert that whole divider in. I can show you. And you put these sliders on it, and then this whole thing will slide out. And you can put them either this way, or you can put them this way, up and down. So I have them alternating ways because I like them for different reasons. I do find when you stand them up, if they're not full, then the papers do buckle a little bit in them, and that's why I've laid a lot of them flat now. You can catch another video about these. These are totally Tiffany magazine type holder things. I know some people have mentioned that I could flip them over and it would be easier to pull my paper envelopes out. but I haven't done that yet. I tried one and I didn't know if I loved it, so I'm still thinking about it. But anyways, I haven't written on these yet, but I've categorized them like with florals or masculine or whatever. And this is most of my paper packs. I do have some, I have a lot more. Actually, this bin is full, but those are ones I've all decided that I probably could sell. So that's what they're doing there. I'm still thinking about selling them, or like, selling is so much work because you have to take pictures of everything, and so that there they sit. But these are the ones that I've decided for sure I'm going to keep. And I've got finished layouts laying on these divider things that I showed you, and then some specialty papers and such in these ones. And then mostly albums at the bottom. I've got a new album here that I have to fill up with these ones over here. But I always sort them. I usually tape a little title. Here I've got a little title. It says San Francisco or San Fran. And then I tuck all the layouts from that event there. And then it's easier to organize later on when I go to put them in albums. I also have a shelf for Ethan, Liam, and Griffin here. So they each have their own shelf. And then I transfer layouts I've made for them into their albums later on. Up here in these boxes here, these are from Homesense. We call it here, Winter's Homesense. It could also be called Marshall's in the States, or Ross. They're little drawers and they have my embellishments in them. I don't have them all full yet. I'm just going to move these cards to the side. There's some different sizes here. I've got some markers and ribbons and stuff in this one. And then here, I've got the different colors sorted, and then I've got different things in each basket. And if I want a basket, I can just pull the whole thing out and bring it over to the table and fiddle with it there and decide what I'm going to use there. So that's where those are from. It's a little bit of artwork and all these things here. This pot, because I know you might ask, is from Winter's Homesense again, Marshall's, whatever. This is a fake plant from IKEA. This A is from the thrift store. These stars are from the thrift store. This globe is from the thrift store. So I have a lot of thrift store items here because, as many of you know, I volunteer at a thrift store. All right, so next up, I'm going to show you these. So these units were called Sprutt. They are no longer available at IKEA, but you can find them sometimes on Marketplace, Facebook Marketplace, or a buy and sell. And that's where I found them. And I love them because they fit my close to my heart stamp sets collection so well. I have different categories written on the fronts of the drawers, and then I just sort them that way. And I just put a bunch of Stampin' Up! Sets in this one here. So they do fit in here as well. Not sure if they would fit this way. No, they won't fit this way. Sorry, I get my hand out of the way. They won't fit this way. They'll only fit this way. But that's okay. They can stand up straight this way, so that's all right. So that's those. There's 2 units there. And this side, I just have some other embellishments in the drawers. I don't actually have stamps filling them all because I don't have that many stamps. They're pretty big. They can fit a lot of stamps. So this side is mostly stamps. I think there's 1 empty drawer here. So this blind is from Home Depot. You can get them cut to size and they just push up and pull down. And they are, you have to push in the middle though. They are so nice to have. They diffuse the light. You can see that the light's shining kind of across my workstation. And as the sun goes by, and in the winter as well, it really shines on where I'm trying to film. And if you look at my earlier videos, you'll see I struggled with that a lot in this room. I chose this room because of the south windows and the lighting, but I do find that I was struggling with the sun. So this is a great thing that I bought. I think this window's about 60 inches wide, maybe a little more. And this blind, I believe, was $117 before tax at Home Depot. And they just cut it to size and they cap the end for you here. And this is just kind of like a, I don't know, they call them, I think, cellular blinds. So this is where the filming happens. I have a filming apparatus here that holds up my camera, and I can move it at different angles. It's kind of hard to show you when I'm holding the camera, but I will at some point do a review on it, I think, because I really do like it. It's from Amazon. This ink sorting is from Amazon. This is just like a very stiff, not cardboard, but like poster board material. It is wipeable, but it is, I think, it's not wood. It's definitely, and it's not plastic. I think it's kind of a paper material. Here I have a little rack that holds some of my paper packs that are currently available. I like to keep them close at hand. And then I have the other ones behind me on that Kallax unit, and I have them sorted, and then I can go and dig into those when they will match my project better. This mat here, I just cut the top off of it simply because I didn't want to tuck it underneath my stand from my, I know it's hard to see, but this is the stand from my filming thing. And I didn't want to have to, I was shifting this around or lifting it up all the time, and I didn't want to do that anymore. So I just cut the top off of here because really I only need till the 12. And this mat was actually from Dollarama. So it was in the automotive section in my Dollarama, but I really like it because I can keep both of my pages right together. And then I have the Versamats down here. I keep a bunch of stuff down here in the corner in the back. Those are just boxes and kind of miscellaneous. This basket here has some embellishments. Let me move this chair. It has some embellishments. Here's a waste paper basket that I might use some of the time. There's a paper back there too, I see. These here are some papers that I don't use too often. I haven't really decided where to go with them or whether to get rid of them. I have some packages, new packages of paper yet from Close to My Heart that I had ordered before they closed. And then I have these Versamats as well, but I do like to bring them in on top of my layout when I want to stamp on the back here on this side, or when I want to do something that I want to protect my layout, then I don't have to move the layout aside every time. So that works out good for me. The way I keep my cardstock is I like to have it close at hand. I keep it in this magazine bin that I got from Jisk years and years ago. And I really like how I have my cardstock so close to me. Sometimes I do get mixed up of which color is which. And I have been keeping most of my Stampin' Up! Cardstock on one end. I believe it's on that end because I don't have much of it. So I kind of keep it together for now, but eventually I'll sort it. And I may make some little tabs to tell me what color's what, but generally I can figure it out. And I just like to have it all right here. And yes, this is pretty much all my cardstock other than this accordion folder with bits and pieces in it. So if I'm looking just for a little chunk, I'll dig into here. And I just have these sorted by general colors. Here, let's put this one down so you can actually see. So I have it sorted just by like red, orange, yellow, green, etc. If you frequent thrift stores, I would watch for these floating cube shelves. They come in 3 sizes, and they come into our thrift store a ton. And I have a few sets here. I think I have 3 sets, and I use them to create my own shelving. This is just white shelving you can buy at Walmart. I also got it at the thrift store, but you can get it all kinds of places. They don't even match each other, I don't think, because this one is more solid. This one is bowing more. But I love just creating my own way that I want it here. And I find that these work really good for that. So then I found this shelving unit and I decided to pop it up there. So I have that there now. And then I have this pegboard from IKEA. And where those 2 stars are hanging, I might add another pegboard eventually. when I go to IKEA again, because I do really enjoy the pegboard. I find that it's a nice way to sort things and you can always see them all, which is handy. For these pegboards, you can get all sorts of accessories. These are longer hooks, so I hang things on them. This is the Creative Memory circle cutting system that is awesome and I always use. This is all my blending brushes, and I've got some of them from Amazon, some of them from Close to My Heart, some of them from the dollar store even. The dollar store has these ones. And I keep them divided down here. This is like a tray, and all these things hook, and these clothespins, I don't know what you call these. They all hook into the pegboard with these little hooks. And then you just push them down, and it's quite sturdy, and I really enjoy this pegboard. So as I said, I think I'll put another there. These baskets are just from the dollar store. I keep my most current stamp sets right on my desk here, so they're close at hand, and I try to use current ones when I can, but sometimes it's just not possible and I dig into my stash. And then I have some sorting to do from these two boxes. I haven't completely sorted everything, but this one is a lot of envelopes, some of those magnet things that I put on the inside of my stamp sets, and just some more odds and ends. And then as for these bins up here, they have sorted paper in them. So they're kind of single sheets, but I've sorted them into mix-ins or similar, black, white, and gray, travel, beach, miscellaneous single sheets. So I just have different ones in here that are single sheets that when I'm looking for a certain color, I either go in my color bin or my black and white bin or my earth tone bin or neutral. And I also have some current paper packs sitting up here as well in this cropper hopper. And this one has more chipboard and stuff. I'm actually probably ready to part with some of this chipboard, but I haven't gone through that yet. Everything's a work in progress. Nobody is perfect, so I still have a little more mess to go through over here, these little bins, and decide where these things go or whether they need to be thrown out. This here sometimes helps when I'm filming in the winter. It's one of those happy lights. It's just from Costco, and it also is good for me. In North America, we don't always get a lot of sunlight, and so having one of these lights can really help us with our mood here. This chair here is if a friend ever comes over and wants to scrapbook with me, there's a spot for them to sit. I'll clear out some space here for them, and this way I could still actually film at my station over here and then just voice it over later, which is really convenient. So I hope that chair gets used. So I have another light here from, you guessed it, the thrift store. And then I'll just move that a little bit. And then these two here, there's a book that I found that I created during COVID about staying home in 2020. So it's pretty fun. But these are my two printers. I have the Canon Selfie, and then this is just a Canon Pixma, and I keep them right here. And then I have the supplies for them over in at that station. So I used to print at the top of this rack here, and so that's why I have printing supplies in here. But I decided to try this die cutting station. If I don't like it, I might move my die cutting back over here. I just have this down as a surface to take pictures, although I end up filling it up with stuff when I'm making a layout and end up having to push all the stuff off to take a picture. But that's to take a picture of a finished layout over here. And I have some different, whatever you call these, vinyl photography backdrops tucked in the corner here against the wall in case I want to use a different one. So I just kind of have two out right now. I have the wood grain one that's on my desk, and then this one over here. So sorry about that, I got distracted from this, but as I said before, I'm trying this out. I may end up moving it back to the table over here if I want it close at hand, so I can just roll my chair over and do it. And then I may end up putting the printer back over here. I would eventually like to get some legs under this table, because then I could tuck my rolling cart under there when I want to put it away. And then I would move that filing cabinet somewhere else. You can see I've stacked things up to make this work. So this is just temporary to see if I'm gonna like this. And that's what I would advise you to do, to try things out before you commit. Here is a few before pictures of my original printing area. You can see inside the closet there as well. I have a rarely used stuff there. Here is how I used to have those Sprutt units stacked. Here is the finished product after all of my hard work. Do leave me your questions and comments down below. I love to read them. I really hope you enjoyed the craft room tour that I gave you. I hope it inspires you to make your creative space more creative friendly so that everything is close at hand and you're able to create and enjoy the creating time. And I am going to be off on a trip to Europe shortly, so you're not going to see too much of me for another few weeks, and then I'll be back to my normally scheduled programming. I guess I'll come back and I'll get right back on creating more layouts for you. Everyone always loves the travel layouts, so I have to go travel more so that I can create more of them. Anyways, thank you so much for subscribing to my channel and hitting that thumbs up every time. My channel's growing. I just hit 4,000 subscribers and I appreciate you all so incredibly much. I hope that you'll stick around, and I love this community. So thanks a million. And I'll catch y'all next time here on YouTube. Bye.